From the mind of Mark Yoshimoto Nemkov.
So I'm going to show you a comparison between the Universal Audio Apollo sound and the sound that I'm getting from Mainstage. So you're listening to me right now through the Apollo going through the SSL 4000E channel strip. This isn't my usual go-to, but there's a reason, because I want to do a more direct comparison with what I have set up on Mainstage. So this is not a bad sound at all. I mean, this is a pretty decent sound, but watch what happens when I change over. Okay, so now you're listening to me on Mainstage, and this is the SSL, the Brainworks SSL 4000E. And so they are models of the same type of console, but the Brainworks one just feels more rich and vibrant and detailed. And, got a little bit more top end here. And overall, I think that here's something that is not just usable, but I think a little bit more desirable overall than the sound of the Apollo. Let's go back to the Apollo. All right, so here we are back on the Apollo, and I mean the difference is pretty stunning. So overall, I am not necessarily. This doesn't help convince me to stay on Apollo for my work. Here, I'm going to try something else real quick. So from the SSL, we're going to go to my usual go-to, which is the Neve 88RS, and I'm going to show you the difference there. So hold on one sec. All right, so this is the Neve 88RS, obviously a much different sound, right, than the SSL. This is the usual sound that you hear on this channel, the one that this plugin stack is something that I've been working with and tinkering with and trying to fine-tune it for the last year or so? This has been on like 1,000 voiceovers. I mean, this is crazy. So this is my usual work sound right here. So let's switch it over and see what we get. All right, now we are back here at Brainworks, at the Brainworks console here on Mainstage, and it's a different sound. And again, I mean, I'm very happy to have a lot of different sounds at my disposal. But this feels cleaner, it feels punchier, especially in the low end. I mean, the low end of this, on the Universal Audio, it feels like someone put a blanket over the microphone a little bit. It's a little bit muffled. It's not as clear. And again, I'm going through the same exact interface. This is the Universal Audio Apollo interface. The only difference is how I'm using the plugins, what plugins I'm using, and how I'm hosting them. Now, for quite a while, people have been trying to tell me that Universal Audio plugins aren't the best ones out there. And I had been drinking the UA Kool-Aid so hard that I really didn't believe anybody. Here, let's switch to a different, let's go to the 9099. So, here, let me pull up my preset for this. So, yeah, overall, I was not really pleased to realize that, yeah, Universal Audio stuff, it sounds a little bit denser. It doesn't feel as wide of a soundscape. It doesn't feel as detailed overall. So there are better options out there. I just didn't want to believe it because I had spent so much money on my UA gear. Anyway, so all right, so let's go back and let's switch back to all right, so here we go. Now we're going to end here, right here. And listen to that. Listen to the difference. This is the usual sound that you hear on the channel. And now again, it feels muffled. It feels weird. So, I mean, I feel like, I feel like, Neo in the Matrix waking up in the pod covered with goo and going oh my God, this is, yeah, it's not what it seemed to be. I can't end on this sound. So let's go back to this. So, all right. So, again, the AMIC 9099. And this wouldn't necessarily be the best voiceover sound for everything, but there's something warm and gentle about this that I like. So, I'm really discovering a whole new palette of sounds, a whole new opportunity to actually, I think, increase the value of my work product by having more options and possibly even a cleaner sound. And it's all about clean sound and detail these days. All right, nation, what do you think the difference between Apollo and Mainstage sound? All right, you know what to do. Leave a comment. Until next time. This is Mark Yoshimoto Nemkov, fading to black.